Hello and welcome. Assalamu alaikum to another live session. And this live session is on the Are You Future Ready program because today we'll be covering a department of Greenwich University for the fall semester 2020. And the program that we'll be discussing today is the Political Science and International Relations program. And for that, I have with me Dr. Sayyida Daud, who is the Dean Faculty of Social Sciences. She is a PhD in International Relations, also an instructor of German language or foreign language programs at Greenwich University. So, welcome to the show, ma'am. Hope you're doing well.
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. We also have with us Mr. Ali Jalani, who is the head diplomatic affairs at Greenwich University and also Greenwich alumnus. So, welcome to the show, sir. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you very much, Omar.
We also have with us Ma'am Anam Durrani, who looks after the international office of Greenwich University and also faculty at Greenwich University. So, welcome to the show, ma'am. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you so much, Umar. It's my pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is all ours. So, since we're here talking about the political science and international relations program, so let's just start off with Dr. Sayyida Daud. Ma'am, first of all, the basic question that every student have in mind is how long is this program and how can a student start the program? Like, what are the prerequisites to enter or to take admission in this program?
Omar, we have programs of international relations, master's programs, we have MPhil programs, and we have PhD programs. So the criteria for admission is very simple. For master's, you need bachelor's degree, and for MPhil, you need 16 years of education. For PhD, 18 years of education. So that is the criteria and the eligibility. And for PhD, MPhil and PhD, we need the core area of the student should be Master in International Relations or Master in Political Science if he's selecting for PhD in political science.
Right. Thank you so much. I'll move to Ma'am Anam Durrani. Ma'am, you're always a part of the interviews and the admissions. So the basic question that a student have in mind is what are the criteria of the interviews because we're in this COVID situation. So how is Greenwich enrolling new students? How can one apply and what is the procedure of getting the admission?
Okay. उमर सबसे पहले तो as far as the admissions are concerned कि apply कैसे करेगा कोई भी student, so we have online admission system. We have developed one website, special portal for this admission process where a student can go and they can submit their application. Also, they can they can upload their documents, and then we receive, when we get the application, we process it, and then we evaluate it. Afterwards, student comes for the interview. Since we all know because of COVID, the test is exempted for MPhil, PhD, undergrad, and grad students. So we are conducting the interviews where we have a panel of experts from the particular field. For example, if it's for IR, we have specialists for that, and they and we have general counselors as well. So we do blend of personality testing and of course the subject testing as well, and based on that we take decision for the admissions.
Thank you so much for that. I'll move to Sir Ali Jalani now. Sir, you've got a huge research work and all the deep eye on all the topics of current affairs and everything. But when I ask you, what is the scope of political science and international relations? Like, if a student enrolls into this subject and he does his bachelor's, master's, or MPhil, so what scope and what opportunities does he open for himself?
Umar, I mean, the multidimensionality of these programs ensures in a way that, I mean, the world is your front yard. It's completely open to you when you are a graduate of international relations or broadly political sciences programs, because not just that you have positions open to work with the government, mainly, predominantly, I mean, most of our graduates end up taking analytical positions across media, journalistic positions, analytical positions in the development sector with the likes of UN and other non-governmental organizations in the field. You also have a very broad scope within the academia sector where you have ample job opportunities in this particular field. So it really opens the world for you. Plus, you can also apply for transnational organizations and multinationals because of the globalized landscape of pretty much all aspects of social functioning. One way or the other, students having a developed worldview through these particular programs have a lot of buy in the market that way.
Thank you so much for that. I'd like to move to Ma'am Dr. Saida Daud again. Ma'am, you've done your PhD in the same field, mashallah, and you've got decades of experience. So, how would you motivate and inspire the students to uh, come and choose this particular program?
Uh, m- uh, my motivation basically was initially I wanted to join foreign office after doing my masters. Then I ended up it teaching field. So I got the impression that higher education or higher qualification in international relations helped me a lot to understand the international scenario and to discuss and understand different political issues happenings in the country internationally and the background of all the issues which are going on, which are still unresolved, and also developed an understanding of political and disputes which are have become complicated in the recent years, and most of the people who are not of that field who understand the background of these issues. They don't understand what is going on in international affairs. So basically, the inspiration for a student and for student of international relations and political science is basically to understand international affairs and act accordingly, think accordingly, and whatever your field is. I mean, if you're working in the media, in academia, or any other field, at least you know the international happenings and you can guess what is going on, but you can also assume what will happen next and all the happenings internationally. You have a very clear mind about that and you can assess the situations internationally. So this is basically the motivation and also the interest of a student, which develops with the time. So being a PhD, it has. I mean, I have learned. I've gone through a lot of experience. I have been teaching in the field. So I have seen many developments in recent years and in the past, and I can foresee some certain things in the future also.
Indeed, and thank you so much for that insight. I'd like to tell all the audience as well if there are any questions that anybody has regarding these two programs, international relations and political science. We have bachelor's, master's, MPhil, and PhD. So you can always ask and have your queries in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions. I'd like to move to Ma'am Anam Durrani now. Ma'am, the students they just have this one question in mind that is George University offering scholarships, and if yes, what is the criteria of scholarships, and how can one apply for the scholarship?
Okay. Yes, Umar, we do have scholarships. There are basically two categories which students can actually apply. One is need-based, and the other one is merit-based. If someone has good grades, they can apply for merit. Also, if somebody is good with sports, they can apply for sports scholarship. And how to apply these scholarships on our website, on our admission portal. They have a link option there. If they want, while they are submitting their application, they can apply for the scholarship, and the request will come to us. And then we forward it to the committee, and the committee take the decision after the interview.
Right. Thank you so much for that. I'd like to move to Sir Ali Julani now. So, as I said before, you've got a deep eye on all these topics, and you're quite interested, and it kind of attracts you, this political science and international relations. So, how has these two subjects changed you as a person, and what benefits have you gained from it? Because we've seen you in Parliament, talking at the UN platforms as well. So, how has these subjects benefited you as a person?
Thank you, Uma. I think it's part of my activism. This particular politicization of my consciousness is also part of my self-actualization. As far as being a proud alumnus of the political sciences program at Greenwich is concerned, it provides you the opportunity. I mean, it brings in the idea of blending theoretical insights with practical exposure, which is the key takeaway for students to actually enroll at Greenwich, because we try to combine, different perspectives, give you that particular, practical exposure, which is pivotal through conferences, webinars, seminars, and to actually provide you with that, to have you touch base with the actual geopolitical landscape around the world. One of the key elements when I was actually doing my program here was the opportunity that we got to not just visit the European Parliament in Brussels, but we also had the opportunity of addressing members of the European Parliament on re-imaging Pakistan. So you actually get a flavor of how the global geopolitical landscape functions, the intricacies of international relations, the importance of cultural diplomacy. So we actually got first-hand exposure of all these aspects. As far as on a personal note, the significance of political sciences is concerned, of course, I mean, all of us at one level or other have to have that political consciousness. I've been lucky actually to be on different forums, including the likes of High-Level Political Forum of the UN General Assembly, where I represent the Asian Pacific Civil Society. We are basically pursuing for democratization of state and social institutions around human rights, governance strengthening, education, health, climate change, and so many other things, which comes as a package in Sustainable Development Goals, which is also going to be part of the discussions that we'll have for students who will roll into these programs at Greenwich moving forward.
Right, and I'll also talk about the other platforms that Greenwich provides and forums which actually provides the exposure and confidence to the students like MUN and all the others which is led by you. So we have a question here from Sarish, and she asks, can BBA students go for this program? So ma'am Anam, I'd like you to answer that. कि क्या BBA के बच्चे इस प्रोग्राम में enroll कर सकते हैं?
बिल्कुल उमर, हमारे पास MA का प्रोग्राम है, मास्टर्स ऑफ आर्ट्स एंड इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, जिसमें they can definitely apply, and the admissions are open. They are more than welcome to apply for that.
And would also have to run through the prereqs as far as the BBA students are concerned. So there's also a slight possibility that they might have to take some deficiency courses in order to actually have that compliance with this particular program.
Absolutely. I'd like to ask Dr. Saida Daud, ma'am, you're the Dean of the Social Sciences, and we've got wonderful teachers when it comes to political science and international relation courses, as people from the industry, people with experience, the practical experience. So as a Dean, what would you like to say about the faculty of Greenwich University?
The faculty of Greenwich University is mashallah, very competent, and they are well selected. And they all have a very strong background, especially if we are talking about the Department of International Relations and Political Science. We have very senior faculty. Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed is a very senior professor. Myself, I have almost 40 years of experience of teaching,
Mashallah.
and likewise, other faculty members of other departments are also very with a very strong background, and they are very experienced. And of course, we select all those members and interact all those members in our faculty who have a strong background, and that's why we have a very strong department also. We have, I mean, we have almost 10 students who have already done and completed their PhD and degree. And we have enrolled about 6 students in MPhil program now, and 3 students who have completed recently their PhD degree. So we have a very strong department. It is headed, the faculty is basically very competent, very experienced faculty. I think the
In-
most senior faculty members are in international relations and in political science.
Indeed, it is, and absolutely, I'm also a graduate of Greenwich University, so I definitely second the fact that the teachers and the environment at Greenwich is wonderful. And when I talk about environment, I like to ask Ma'am Anand Durrani that, Ma'am, since we're in this COVID situation, the campus is closed, but shortly students will be able to visit the campus and take classes practically and physically. So, tell us about the environment at Greenwich University and what co-curricular activities can students do, the male side, the females. What facilities will Greenwich provide in the co-curricular activities side as well?
Okay. Apart from teaching, Umar, we do arrange different workshops and seminars for all the political science and IR students, because in this field it is very important to be to have updated knowledge about global phenomena, whatever is going on. So we regularly have these kind of sessions where experts from different industries they come and they talk about whatever the trends are going on. Also, as Ali mentioned, that we had the opportunity to take students to EU Parliament. So these kind of visits we do regularly have that kind of thing. Other than that, for MPhil and PhD students, we have, apart from their education, we have teaching assistant opportunities for them, because it is, of course, vital for them to have the experience along with the education. So we have teaching assistant opportunity for them, and during their study, they do teaching assistant with the senior faculty, so that they take away the knowledge and along with that the skill of teaching. So when they go in the market, they can actually join academia or any other field they want.
Absolutely right. And as we all are talking and discussing about it, it's so wonderful to hear and so much information when it comes to the political science and international relations program, because this is one program that is like a hot cake in the international market. Many people are pursuing this topic, and as Sarali told us, that there are so many opportunities internationally with these topics. So I'll move to Sarali again. And as you talked about the exposure and the platform that Greenwich provides, um, if we compare these programs, international relations and political sciences, to other programs, so how would you differentiate between the programs and the additional advantages a student can have if they choose political science and international relations?
Hmm. Omar, it's basically a cross-disciplinary field in itself. You see, you're touching base. When I speak of political sciences in particular, you're touching base with the ideas of conflict resolution. You're talking about leadership. You're talking about diplomacy and its various forms. You're talking about different tangents of governance. All of these are specialized fields in their own, but because of the multidimensionality of the programs offered here, we try to make sure that we ground our students in not just the theoretical landscape of this particular field, but also provide exposure to the practical side of these things. And just adding to the previous question asked concerning the business students and all. We also have a cross-disciplinary forum here, which is School of Leadership and Diplomacy. It's open for students of international relations and political sciences, but it's also open for students from the likes of media, business, economics, and humanities, where we try to converge, issues of significance and try to perform some sort of cultural diplomacy at this particular forum. So that avenue brings in, consul journals and others from different embassies that we have in Karachi, and sometimes we also have international guests with us who usually, visit the university. Now, these interactive opportunities, specifically for students of political science and international relations, provide them with that flavor which is critical to actually understand the theoretical underpinnings.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for that detailed, wonderful answer. We have a question here, and like Mr. Ray to answer that. Do you think that there should be a separate course on Kashmir issue to highlight the political, social, and economical conditions internationally? Zahir Muhammad, visiting faculty of Greenwich.
Do you want me to take that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because I know when it comes to Kashmir, you have your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, of course. You see, when it comes down to Kashmir, I think it is located, the issue in itself is located within the discourse of political sciences and international relations broadly, along with that of diplomacy. Having a separate course, I think, would have to broaden the discussion. It could be a broader course on occupied territories in the UN language, right? So you have UN recognized occupied territories around the world where there are several issues that you can then zoom into, for instance, the ideas of human rights abuse, illegal detentions and whatnot. So there could be, several juxtapositions that you could compound and work on. But specifically, of course, on Kashmir issue in itself, it's a good idea, but I would like to rather pitch for a broader idea where you can also bring in narratives like those of Palestine, and maybe have some sort of comparative research, as well as include a component of advocacy, so that these courses are not restricted to the theoretical side of things, because you would always want to have some sort of activism and momentum around these particular issues to take that discourse to the actual political level. So you could locate these within the established structures that we have of political sciences and international relations, but you could also have dedicated discussions on these subjects.
Right. I just like to know one thing, that if the students they get enrolled in this program, political sciences and international relations, will they be able to speak like you and get the hold of topics just like you do?
You see, it's part of my activism. I advocate the people of a lesser god, so to put it in a way. So it's part of my activism that way. It's heart and soul to me. But of course, there are much better people than I am, doing some absolutely wonderful job in terms of their contributions to struggles like these. So there's always scope for people to shine in a way.
Right. I'd like to ask Dr. Saida Dawood here. Ma'am, you've got over 4 decades of experience. So, what changes have you seen in the trends and the teaching styles when it comes to political science and international relations? Because this world has kept on evolving when it comes to the politics side, the international relations side, everything around the globe. It's constantly changing. So, have you seen or noticed any changes in the teaching styles and trends in the past 4 decades?
Yes, of course, Umar. It's 40 years, and it is but natural that many changes have occurred, not only in the mode of teaching, but also in different fields of the academia and international affairs. Also, we have a lot of different fields which have been introduced during the past 4 decades. So we have a very much media involvement in these in teaching field, especially because we have a lot of exposure. The media has exposed so many things to the masses, so they are aware of many things, and we have to take them forward instead of giving them the initial knowledge. Even the students, they have a lot of knowledge, and they can use the internet and all that. And when they come to the class today, they are much more equipped. They know a lot. They ask a lot of questions. At times, the teacher is also at times the answer to answer the questions of today's students is at times a bit difficult also. So we have to be very alert. We have to be updated constantly. And what is happening internationally, we have to be aware, and we have to give a very rational answer today. If we talk about the past, you had to deliver a lecture, and the student would be satisfied with this, and very few ask some questions, and the exposure was not there, the media was not there, and the awareness was not there, and the student was limited to certain things. So today's student is also very smart. He is knowledgeable, and he wants. He does not want to have the bookish knowledge, but the student wants to discuss things, wants to discuss and know some answers. He has already answers in his own mind, and he wants to discuss with the teacher, with the class, and come to some results. He wants some outcome of that issue, which is in his mind. So today, teaching has become a very broader task. Very many things are involved. Media is involved, and knowledge is involved, and knowledge is constantly being updated. You cannot rely on what was right yesterday. It might not be correct today, and then you have to you have to constantly be upgraded, and you have sort of race you are taking part in. So you have to be constantly, very consciously answer the question of the student,
Totally,
because
totally agree with that. Absolutely, and being a student, a graduate of Greenwich, I definitely agree to the fact again, because that at Greenwich, all the teachers, as I said, that they're from the practical field, and whatever is going around in the world, the teachers are teaching with the current examples. Like, you're so much updated with the world that by the time you go into the field for a job or anything, the exposure and the confidence that you have, thanks to the practical experience of the teachers, is just wonderful. So I'd like to move to Ma'am Anandurani here. Ma'am, they say that for masters you need 16 years of education and all that, but there are students who have done their BA and they have 14 years of education. So is there any good news for student who has done 14 years of education and some way they can directly enroll into masters?
Yes, Umar. We have this MA program, Masters of Arts in International Relations. Students from who has completed their BA, Bachelors of Arts, they can apply for MA. That's a 2-year program, and then it can lead towards MPhil. So, since we all know that 14 years of education will not be accepted for the future in 2021, so they have to apply for BS program. So this is like it's a good opportunity, and this is the last year for as per HEC rules, so they can apply for MAIR if they have done their Bachelors of Arts.
Right. Thank you so much for that. I'd also like to know before we end the session that what is the fee structure at Greenwich? And I've also heard, in fact, it's a very good news for all the alumni network that if anyone's a sibling or a relative of alumni, so they get a special discount. So if you can please highlight both the facts.
Yes, we are offering a alumni family discount, 25%. Anyone who has a relationship with any of our alumni, they can apply for this discount, and it's applicable. That is 25%. Also, for others, we have early bird discount. That is 10%, which is going on. So anyone who applies will get 10% off on their tuition fees. Rather, other than that, we have different kind of scholarship, which I mentioned earlier. So it will be great for everybody. I mean, everybody will have the opportunity to apply for scholarship, and we'll be there to assist everybody.
Right. And ma'am, if you can highlight the fee structure of Greenwich University.
Omar, every program has a different, of course, fee structure. So I would request everybody to visit our website, greenwich.university. All the program details and the fee structure and the eligibility criteria is there, and they can review that.
Right. Thank you so much for that. And it was a wonderful session where we got to know so much about the political science and international relations program. We are offering bachelor's, master's, MPhil, and PhD. And if still you have any queries, any questions, you can look at right down below all the details where our WhatsApp number is mentioned 0306224833, our email address, which is admissions@greenwich.edu.pk, and our website, just as Ma'am Anam highlighted, greenwich.university, where you can see all the details and apply online. So thank you so much for everyone for joining the session. But before leaving, I just like to request you one more thing, and starting from Ma'am Dr. Sayyeda Daud, Ma'am, one word for life at Greenwich.
Um, Wonderful.
Thank you. Mr. Ali Jalani, one word for life at Greenwich.
Uh, Mesmerizing.
Ma'am Anam, one word for life at Greenwich.
Lifetime experience.
Right. And I definitely say Greenwich feels like home. That's my one word. And that was all from this session. Are you future ready? The programs of political science and international relations that Greenwich University is offering in bachelor's, master's, MPhil, and PhD. So apply now and get the early bird discount. And for further details, visit greenwich.university. Till then, stay safe, keep smiling, stay positive, not corona positive, but positive in life. Until next time, Pakistan, Zindabad.